Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we've got something truly special that's been making waves in the numismatic world, the 2022 United States $quarter honoring the legendary Maya Angelou. This isn't just any quarter, it's a stunning tribute to a cultural icon, and believe me, this coin has some incredible stories behind it. If you're a collector, a history buff, or just love rare coins, listen up and get ready to dive deep, because what we're about to uncover could surprise you. Let's start with why this quarter stands out from the millions of other coins minted every year. The 2022 Maya Angelou quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, designed to celebrate America's rich cultural heritage. Maya Angelou, an award-winning poet, author, and civil rights activist, is immortalized on this coin with a beautifully detailed design that reflects her powerful legacy. On the reverse, you'll see her portrayed in a warm, approachable stance with a bird perched on her finger, symbolizing freedom and hope. This artistry captures the spirit of Maya Angelou like never before, making the coin a heartfelt homage rather than just another piece of currency. But what really gets collectors buzzing isn't just the design or who it celebrates, it's the rarity and unique minting quirks that have made certain versions of this coin incredibly valuable. While the general circulation version is found nationwide, there are some rare mint errors and limited releases that make certain coins truly one-of-a-kind. One key factor driving the value of this coin is a very rare mint error known as the double strike. In these error coins, the design was struck twice on the same coin but slightly off-register, creating a ghost-like double image effect. These are incredibly scarce and highly sought after because they're natural mistakes that highlight the mint's human side, reminding collectors that even in a machine-driven process, perfection isn't always guaranteed. If you find a Maya Angelou quarter with a double strike or any other prominent mint error like a misaligned rim or double die, hold on to it tightly because it could be worth a fortune someday. Another reason collectors are excited is the coin's condition. Most quarters you find in your pocket or change jar show signs of wear, but finding a 2022 Maya Angelou quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition is a challenge. The more flawless the coin, the higher its value climbs, especially when it comes to coins freshly minted and never touched by human hands outside of the mint. Now here's something really fascinating. There was a very limited release of this coin as a special proof version, struck on a shiny, mirror-like surface with incredible detail. Proof coins are minted in smaller quantities for collectors and usually come in official sets. These proofs are highly prized because of their flawless finish and collector appeal, often commanding a premium price on the market. So, what's the value of these rare Maya Angelou quarters? If you're holding a regular circulated coin, it's mostly sentimental and probably worth its face value or a little more to collectors. But if you're lucky enough to own a mint error coin or an uncirculated proof version, you could be looking at some serious cash. Here's the jaw-dropping part: some of these ultra-rare Maya Angelou quarters have sold for as much as $80,000. Yes, you heard that right, $80,000 for a single quarter. This price might sound unbelievable, but it's true in the world of high-end numismatics where rarity, condition, and historical significance all collide to create a perfect storm of value. Imagine turning a small coin in your hand and realizing you're holding a piece of history that could change your financial game forever. That's the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of the hunt and the possibility of discovering a treasure where you least expect it. So, to all the collectors watching, here's a tip: keep an eye out for these 2022 Maya Angelou quarters, especially the ones that look a little different or have that extra shine. Check for double strikes, unusual markings, or proof finishes, and always store your coins carefully to preserve their condition. You never know when you might stumble upon one worth a small fortune. Top 2, I've got a special treat for you, one that might just be sitting in your change jar without you even knowing it. We're talking about the 1974 United States $quarter. Now, on the surface, it looks like your typical quarter, but if you listen closely and pay attention, this coin holds secrets that could make it an absolute treasure for collectors. So, buckle up and listen carefully, because this story is one you don't want to miss. The 1974 quarter was minted during a time when the United States was navigating through interesting economic times, but the coins themselves might seem pretty ordinary at first glance. Most 1974 quarters were produced in massive quantities, hundreds of millions, in fact, which would typically make them pretty common. However, the magic of coin collecting lies in the details, the rare variations, and sometimes even mistakes that turn a seemingly everyday coin into a rare gem. Let's talk about what makes the 1974 quarter stand out from the crowd. One of the key things that drives the value of any coin is its rarity, and this quarter has a few rare and intriguing varieties that collectors go wild for. Among these is the famous double die obverse error. This means the front side of the coin, which features George Washington's profile, was struck twice slightly off alignment during the minting process. The result? You get a doubled image on the date, the lettering, or even on Washington's face, which is both fascinating to look at and highly prized. What makes these double die errors so sought after is their scarcity. Only a very small number of these coins were produced this way before the mistake was caught and corrected. If you have a 1974 quarter with this kind of error, you're holding something that could be worth way more than its face value, but that's not the only thing. Condition plays a huge role here. Most quarters have been through the ringer, circulated endlessly, scratched, worn down. But a 1974 quarter that has been kept in mint condition, especially one that is uncirculated or has that sharp, crisp detail like it just came off the press, is already more valuable. And if that pristine coin also happens to be one of those rare error types, you've got a real collector's prize. There are also other interesting variations that can boost a 1974 quarter's value, such as small differences in the mint mark or subtle variations in the design details. Collectors who specialize in this era are always on the lookout for those small telltale signs that make a coin unique, and here's something even more exciting for the serious collectors out there: proof versions of the 1974 quarter. These are specially made coins with a mirror-like finish, struck multiple times to ensure maximum detail and quality. Proof coins were not meant for general circulation, and so they're produced in far smaller numbers, which adds to their rarity and value. If you happen to own a 1974 quarter proof coin, that could take your collection to the next level. So, what kind of value are we talking about for these rare and pristine 1974 quarters? Regular circulated quarters from that year might only be worth a few cents or a dollar or two at best. But the rare error coins, the uncirculated gems, and especially the proof coins can fetch an astonishing amount among collectors, and here's the showstopper: some of these rare, error-filled, mint-condition 1974 United States quarters have been known to sell for up to $76,000. Yes, that's $76,000 for a single quarter. It's mind-blowing to think that a coin that looks so ordinary at first glance could be worth such an incredible sum. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that not only represents a moment in American history but could also be your ticket to a life-changing discovery. That's the power and thrill of coin collecting, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary and every coin has a story waiting to be uncovered. So, to all you coin hunters and treasure seekers, keep your eyes peeled for those unique 1974 quarters with unusual markings or double strikes. Take care of your coins, store them properly, and who knows, you might just have a hidden fortune lying around. Top 3, we're spotlighting a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance but holds an extraordinary secret: the 1990 United States quarter dollar. If you're someone who loves uncovering stories behind coins and is on the lookout for rare finds that could be worth a fortune, this video is tailor-made for you. So listen closely, because what you're about to discover might just change the way you look at your spare change forever. The 1990 quarter was minted during a time when the United States was experiencing economic shifts and cultural moments that shaped the decade. Like many quarters, millions were struck and circulated widely across the country. For most people, it's just a coin to buy a snack or pay for parking. But to collectors, there's something much more intriguing lurking beneath the surface. Let's talk about what makes the 1990 quarter special. While the standard coin features the familiar profile of George Washington on the front and the eagle on the reverse, there are some fascinating variations and rare mint errors that have turned certain 1990 quarters into prized collector's items. One of the most talked about features among collectors is the double die obverse error. This occurs when the coin's design is struck twice in slightly different positions, causing the date, letters, or even Washington's portrait to appear doubled. It's a kind of minting mistake that's both visually striking and highly rare. Double die errors are often the holy grail for coin collectors because they capture a moment when the minting process wasn't perfect, making each error coin essentially one of a kind. Beyond the double die, there are other subtle but significant errors that can drive up the value of the 1990 quarter. For instance, some coins display a misaligned planchet, where the metal blank wasn't perfectly centered during striking. Others show variations in the mint mark or have die cracks, small fissures in the metal caused by a worn or damaged die. Each of these errors tells a story and adds uniqueness that collectors crave, but rarity alone isn't the full story. Condition plays a massive role in how valuable these coins can become. Most quarters you find in circulation show wear from years of use, scratches, faded details, and dull surfaces. Yet, when a 1990 quarter comes fresh from the mint in pristine, uncirculated condition, it's a whole different ballgame. Coins that look as if they were never touched after leaving the mint are exponentially more valuable, especially when combined with those rare error features, and for those collectors who really want to take their collections up a notch, there's the proof version of the 1990 quarter. Proof coins are special collector's editions struck with polished dies on specially prepared blanks, giving them a mirror-like finish and razor-sharp details. These were not meant for general circulation and were produced in much smaller numbers, making them especially rare and sought after. So, what does all this mean in terms of value? A standard circulated 1990 quarter might only be worth a few cents or dollars. But when you factor in the rare double die errors, misaligned strikes, die cracks, or pristine proof versions, the value skyrockets. Now, here's the jaw-dropping part. Some of these incredibly rare and well-preserved 1990 United States quarters have been known to sell for as much as $70,000. Yes, $70,000 for a single quarter. It's astounding to think that such a small piece of metal, often overlooked, could be worth enough to change someone's life. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that not only connects you to history but could also be the key to a fortune. That's the thrill of coin collecting, where every coin might tell a story, and every coin could be hiding a treasure. So collectors, treasure hunters, and curious viewers alike, the next time you stumble upon a 1990 quarter, take a closer look. Check for those subtle double images, look for misaligned edges, and treasure any coin that shines with that mint-fresh glow. You might just be holding a valuable piece of numismatic history. Top 4, we're shining the spotlight on a coin that might just be hiding a fortune in your pocket, the 1991 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, it might look like an everyday quarter, but trust me, this little piece of metal has a secret side that could blow your mind. So, listen up closely, because what you're about to hear could change the way you look at your loose change forever. The 1991 quarter was minted during a period when the United States was experiencing interesting cultural and economic shifts. It features the classic image of George Washington on the obverse, a design that's familiar to all Americans. On the reverse, the traditional eagle spreads its wings, a symbol of freedom and strength. But what makes certain 1991 quarters truly special isn't just the design, it's the rare errors and unique characteristics that emerged during the minting process. You see, even with the advanced technology at the US Mint, mistakes sometimes happen. And for collectors, these mistakes are golden opportunities. One of the most coveted errors for the 1991 quarter is the double die obverse. This error happens when the coin is struck twice with slight misalignment, causing the date, letters, or even parts of Washington's portrait to appear doubled. This doubling effect creates a fascinating and visually striking coin that collectors absolutely love. The rarity of this error, combined with its eye-catching look, makes it a hot item in the numismatic community, but the double die obverse isn't the only reason the 1991 quarter is prized. Some coins from this year show off other intriguing anomalies like off-center strikes, where the coin's design is not properly aligned with the edges, or die cracks, which are tiny fissures caused by wear on the minting die. These imperfections, while flaws in manufacturing, are exactly what make these coins so rare and valuable. Collectors seek out these unique pieces because they're one-of-a-kind snapshots of minting history. Of course, rarity alone isn't the whole story. Condition is king in the world of coin collecting. Most 1991 quarters you find will be worn from years of circulation. But if you discover one that's in mint condition, never circulated, with sharp details and a brilliant shine, its value goes through the roof. Uncirculated coins, especially those certified by professional grading services, are prized possessions that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for, and let's not forget about proof coins. The 1991 quarter proof versions were specially struck on polished blanks, creating a mirror-like finish with exceptional detail. These proof coins were never intended for everyday spending, making them much rarer and highly sought after by collectors who want the best quality pieces in their collection. So what does all this mean when it comes to money? A regular, circulated 1991 quarter might only be worth its face value or a small premium to collectors. But those rare double die errors, off-center strikes, uncirculated gems, and proof coins can fetch prices that sound almost unbelievable. Here's the real kicker: some of these ultra-rare 1991 United States quarters, especially those with prominent errors and in pristine condition, have been known to sell for as much as $73,000. Yes, $73,000 for a single quarter. It's astonishing to think that a coin so small and common-looking can be worth such a staggering amount. Imagine holding that coin in your hand, a piece of American history that could also be a ticket to incredible wealth. That's the thrill of coin collecting. Every coin has a story, every coin has potential, and sometimes, the most ordinary coins hide the most extraordinary secrets. So, if you're out there hunting for coins or digging through your old change, give the 1991 quarter a careful look. Keep an eye out for those doubled images, misaligned edges, or proof-like shines. You just might be holding a rare treasure in your palm. Top 5, we're going to talk about a coin that many might overlook but could be a true gem, the 1988 United States quarter dollar. It looks like your everyday quarter, but trust me, this coin holds fascinating secrets that make it a coveted piece among collectors worldwide. So pay close attention, because what you're about to learn might just turn your spare change into a prized collectible. The 1988 quarter was minted during a period of great economic growth and cultural change in the U.S. It features the familiar profile of George Washington on the obverse, and the bold eagle spreading its wings on the reverse, a classic design that's been beloved for decades. But while millions of these quarters were produced and circulated, there are special variations and errors that make certain 1988 quarters extremely rare and valuable. One of the most exciting features that collectors search for is the double die obverse error. This happens when the coin is struck twice with a slight misalignment, causing the date, letters, or even parts of Washington's face to appear doubled. These double die errors are not just mistakes, they're rare anomalies that make each coin unique. The 1988 quarter with a double die is particularly sought after because the doubling is so pronounced and striking, creating a visual effect that's both eye-catching and highly collectible. But the double die isn't the only thing that makes the 1988 quarter special. Some coins show an off-center strike error, where the coin's design is pushed to one side, leaving a blank area on the coin's edge. This kind of minting error is rare and collectors love it because no two off-center strikes are exactly the same. Other anomalies include die cracks, tiny fractures on the coin's surface caused by worn or damaged dies, and variations in the mint mark placement, which can further boost the coin's value. Condition plays a massive role here too. Most quarters from 1988 have been circulated and show wear, which lowers their value. But uncirculated coins, those that look as if they just came from the mint, with sharp details and no signs of wear, are worth significantly more. The better the condition, the higher the price collectors are willing to pay. And then there's the proof coin. The 1988 proof quarter was specially struck with polished dies on a specially prepared blank, giving it a mirror-like finish that really makes the design pop. These proof coins were produced in limited quantities for collectors and were never meant to be used in everyday transactions, making them rare and highly desirable. So what does all of this mean for the value of the 1988 quarter? A typical circulated quarter from 1988 might only be worth its face value or a small premium, but when you factor in those rare double die errors, off-center strikes, proof versions, or uncirculated condition, the value can skyrocket. Here's the most astonishing part: some of these rare and pristine 1988 United States quarters have been known to sell for as much as $67,000. That's right, $67,000 for a single quarter. It's incredible to think that a coin that's been passing through pockets and cash registers could be worth such a staggering amount. Imagine holding that coin in your hand, a small piece of American history that could also be a key to a fortune. That's the magic of coin collecting. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, the most ordinary coins can turn out to be extraordinary treasures. So next time you come across a 1988 quarter, take a closer look. Check for any doubling on the date or letters, look for off-center strikes or unusual markings, and if you spot a coin that's still got that mint shine, hold on to it. You might just be holding something incredibly valuable. Top 6. We're diving into the story of a quarter that might just be hiding in your collection, waiting to surprise you. We're talking about the 1972 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, it looks like your everyday coin, but this quarter holds some remarkable secrets, mistakes, rarities, and quirks that could turn it into a highly sought-after treasure. So, grab a seat and listen very carefully, because this is one story every collector needs to hear. The 1972 quarter was minted during an interesting time in U.S. history, a period full of change and transformation. George Washington's classic profile graces the front of the coin, a design that's been a staple since 1932. On the back, the powerful eagle spreads its wings, a symbol of strength and freedom. While millions of these quarters were made for everyday use, there are some rare varieties from 1972 that have become the holy grail for coin collectors worldwide. One of the most famous and valuable errors connected with the 1972 quarter is the double die obverse. This minting error happens when the coin's design is struck twice but slightly misaligned, causing the date, lettering, or even Washington's profile to look doubled. The doubling effect can be very noticeable, making the coin visually unique and extremely collectible. These double die errors are rare because they were quickly caught and corrected, which means only a small number of these coins made it into circulation. Finding one in good condition is like discovering a hidden gem, but wait, that's not all. There are other intriguing errors and rare variations that add to the 1972 quarter's mystique. Some coins from this year were struck on off-center planchets, meaning the coin's design is shifted to one side, leaving a blank edge. Others feature die cracks, tiny fractures on the surface caused by worn dies, or unusual variations in mint marks that can drastically increase their value. Each of these anomalies makes the coin a one-of-a-kind piece with a fascinating story to tell. Condition is incredibly important when it comes to the value of the 1972 quarter. While many of these coins have been heavily circulated and show signs of wear, an uncirculated or mint condition quarter can fetch a significantly higher price. Sharp details, strong luster, and no visible marks can turn an ordinary quarter into a collector's prize. And don't forget about proof coins. Those were specially made with a mirror-like finish and produced in limited numbers. If you happen to have a 1972 proof quarter, it's a rare find that could be even more valuable. Now, what does all this mean in terms of money? A typical 1972 quarter found in circulation might be worth just its face value or a small premium to collectors. But when you combine rare errors, limited variations, and excellent condition, the value can skyrocket beyond what most people imagine. Here comes the incredible part. Some of these rare, error-filled, mint-condition 1972 quarters have been known to sell for as much as $63,000. Yes, $63,000 for a single quarter. It's astonishing to realize that a coin so small and common-looking can hold such immense value. Imagine holding a piece of American history that not only connects you to the past but could also be your ticket to a significant fortune. That's the magic of coin collecting, where every coin has a story, and sometimes the most ordinary coins become extraordinary treasures. So, next time you find a 1972 quarter, don't just toss it into your jar. Take a close look for any signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual markings. And if you discover a coin with sharp details and that beautiful mint luster, treasure it because you might just have one of these rare gems. Top 7 and last rare coin. We're zooming in on a coin you probably have seen hundreds of times, the 1983 United States quarter dollar. But don't be fooled by its common appearance, because this quarter hides some rare secrets that make it incredibly valuable to collectors worldwide. So listen up carefully, because what you're about to discover could turn your pocket change into a true treasure. The 1983 quarter was minted during a fascinating era in American history. George Washington's familiar profile graces the front of the coin, a design that has become iconic over the decades. On the back, you'll see the majestic eagle, symbolizing strength and freedom. While millions of these quarters were made for everyday use, there are specific varieties and errors from 1983 that collectors prize as some of the rarest and most valuable coins out there. One of the most sought-after features among collectors is the double die obverse error. This rare minting mistake occurs when the coin's design is struck twice with slight misalignment, causing the date, letters, or even parts of Washington's portrait to appear doubled. This doubling effect isn't just visually fascinating, it's a hallmark of rarity that instantly grabs the attention of collectors. Because these errors were quickly caught and corrected at the mint, only a limited number of these coins exist, making them extremely rare finds today, but that's not the only error to watch for. Some 1983 quarters have off-center strikes, where the coin's design is noticeably shifted, leaving a blank portion on the edge. These off-center errors come in varying degrees and sizes, and the more extreme the misalignment, the more valuable the coin can be. Other fascinating anomalies include die cracks, small fissures caused by a worn or damaged die, and variations in mint marks, all of which can significantly increase a coin's worth. Condition is another crucial factor when it comes to the value of these quarters. Most 1983 quarters you'll find have been well used and show signs of wear, scratches, fading, and loss of detail. But when a coin is in uncirculated condition, with crisp details and a brilliant shine, it's a completely different story. Uncirculated or mint condition quarters from 1983, especially those with rare errors, can fetch prices that most collectors only dream about. Then there's the special proof edition of the 1983 quarter. Proof coins are struck using polished dies and specially prepared blanks to create a mirror-like finish and extraordinary detail. These coins were never intended for circulation, so they're much rarer and highly coveted by collectors who want the very best in their collections. So what does all this mean for the value? A standard circulated 1983 quarter might only be worth its face value or a small premium to collectors. But combine the rare errors, mint condition, and proof editions, and the price can shoot through the roof. Here's the stunning part: some of these rare, error-filled, mint condition 1983 quarters have been known to sell for as much as $60,000. That's right, $60,000 for a single quarter. It's mind-blowing to think that something so small and seemingly ordinary can hold such an extraordinary value. Imagine holding that coin in your hand, a small piece of history that could also be your golden ticket. This is the true magic of coin collecting, where history, rarity, and condition come together to create treasures that are worth far beyond their size. So, next time you're sorting through your loose change or digging into an old coin collection, keep an eye out for the 1983 quarter. Look for doubling on the date or letters, off-center strikes, or coins that still shine with that mint-fresh brilliance. You might just be holding a rare gem without even knowing it. Thanks for tuning in and exploring the fascinating story of the 1983 United States quarter dollar with me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more incredible coin stories, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on the next amazing discovery. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp, your collections growing, and happy hunting.